So good day, everyone. For this video, we are going to show you how to clean data using Pandas. So this is very basic because what we'll show here is to simply replace values with zero. Okay, so first, let me show you why we need to clean the data. Sorry. So data.fill and the last three rows. So you can see that there are some cells that have non-bold values, okay, not a number. It stands for not a number, okay? So in the real, when you perform machine learning, it is important that you clean this errors in your data set, okay? So remember that if your data is junk, then it's most likely that your model will produce inaccurate results or not so good results, okay? And cleaning your data will make your results much better, right? So our first task is we want to remove this non-values, and also these are missing values, represent the missing values. So we want to replace these missing values with zero. Okay, so of course, we can use imputation. However, pandas alone, this will not be um, enough, so or sufficient. We need other libraries for it. But since this is basic, so we'll just use replacement or simple replacement with zero. So we are adding a new reference to the original data. So only the new cells are allocated in memory. So let's save it into another data frame. Let's say clean data equals data.fill NA and then zero. So basically, we will be filling in the missing information with zero. Okay. So, and let's just try to print clean data in the last three rows or the last three rows. And you can see that the none values have now been replaced with zero. Okay. And now let's move on to another topic, which is the data summaries. So we can use the dot describe to provide summaries to the data. Okay, so let's just print clean data dot describe and run. And this shows you the count or the number of rows. So you can see that it all shows 5,044 because there are 5,044 columns. The mean or the average for each column. So let's say for the number of critic for use, the mean number is 138. Okay, so the standard deviation, the minimum, and then the minimum, of course, it will result to zero because we have basically replaced the non values with zero. Okay, and then we also have the 25th, 50th, and 75th percentile, as well as the max value in a specific column, right? So what if we run it in the data describe, and it will show us a different information. Okay, so we can see here that nag-iba na siya. So for the count, it's 4993, 5,028 because of the errors in the data set. So after cleaning the data, and our data na summary is more consistent. Okay. Now for the data correlations. So what is a data na correlation? So we use a correlation to measure the degree of association between two variables. Okay. So we are seeing the relationship between two variables basically. Okay. So this will give us the correlation coefficient. Okay. And that correlation coefficient is measured on the scale that varies from +1 through 0 to -1. So if the correlation coefficient between the two variables is close to +1 or -1, then it means that there is a strong na association between those two na variables. Okay, so if it is closer to 0, then it means that there is a less na correlation, or not so strong na relationship between the two na variables. Okay, so if it is closer, if the correlation coefficient is -1, that means that there is a negative na coefficient. So a variable decreases as another variable increases. Okay, or the other way around. While if it is positive, then a variable increases if a variable's value increases as the another variable's value increases as well. So that's an example of correlation. Okay, so how can we show the correlation using pandas? So what we can do is just very simple. So we just type clean data dot core. Okay, and it will show the correlation on all our variables. So for example, the num of critic for reviews is taken against itself, and num critic for reviews and the duration, num critic for reviews and director likes, etc. Okay, so let us see. Let's say we have the gross and then the num critic na reviews. As we can see, it is quite high, or medyo mataas-taas lang siya than 50%. Okay, and if the higher the gross, that means that the higher the num critic for reviews. Okay, what else?